So now to create the drawing of the tailstock clamp. What I mean by the drawing is the top view, front view, right side view, isometric view, whatever the case may be. That is going to be the drawing that we need to that I want you to create next, or in this video. So from here, just like I mentioned last time, you're going to go to New, and you always want to pick templates. In this case, it is a metric drawing for the tailstock clamp. It tells me right in here. And I'm going to go to metric. Now in this case, I'm not going to create the part. The part is the 3D object. It's going to be the drawing. And as far as the drawing, we do have different options. Usually the one that I pick is the ANSI millimeter metric IDW, which is your Inventor drawing file create. The drawing file usually defaults to a D size. For the most part, unless otherwise told, it is going to be, in this case, I'm going to demonstrate a B size drawing. So I'm going to go over here to where it says sheet 1. I'm going to right click and go to edit sheet. And then under edit sheet, I'm going to change this over to a B size title block sheet. Hit OK. As far as the title block, I will tell you it's a little bit big. I kind of don't like the size of this one. And over here on the left, it says ANSI large. I don't want to use this one. I'm going to right click and delete this one. And I'm going to go to drawing resources, and it's going to show me the different title blocks that we have. Expand title blocks. There's that ANSI large one. I'm just going to use an ANSI A, which is a little bit smaller. Right click and insert to our sheet. Notice it is smaller, and I also want it on the upper right hand corner. So I'm going to go back to sheet 1, right click, edit sheet, and then we just simply change the location of the title block to the upper right hand corner. That's going to work a little bit better. Okay. Now, don't forget to edit your name. That you're going to find under the art properties. You're going to go over here to author. You're going to change and put your full name, spelled correctly, of course, capitalized. There we go. So you can put our name correctly. And then I'm going to go to where it says base. That's where I'm going to start picking the object, the part file, to use for my drawing. So right now I'm going to go click on open the existing file, and you should know where you're saving your files. So I'm going to go over here to where I'm saving my file. There's a tailstock clamp, the IPT file. Hit open. And that's the placement of it for the front view. Now, if you wanted a different view, you can actually go ahead and revolve it to the different view that you want for your front view. Okay, in this case, this is the one that I want, but it might not be the case in yours, the way you, depending on how you drew it. Once you're happy with that one, I'm not clicking anything. I'm just simply going to hover over and click the top one, and then the right side view. And since it looks nice, we're going to go ahead and click and create an isometric view. Once you're done with these, right click, hit OK, or click OK here, and we got our objects. Okay. All right. There's a couple of other extra things that are showing up here, which I don't like. I'm not sure why. I'm going to right click and edit view. I'm going to hover over this one, and there's a setting in here that I used before I created this video that's on, and I'm not sure why it stayed on. So I'm going to right click under this view. Once it's highlighted, edit view. And under display options, it had tangent features, edges turned on. I don't want that. And I'm using this one in particular because when I go to edit view, this is the base view, and it's going to affect these other ones. So that one, again, before I created this video, had the tangent edges turned on. I am going to use that in a few steps for that. For the final drawing, I do not want that tangent edges on. Okay. This isometric is a little bit too big, so I'm going to right click, edit view. Again, making sure I'm highlighting this one, edit view. And on that one, I'm going to change the scale to maybe like a half size view. Hit OK. Okay. And then from there, I'm going to start doing some dimensions. But before the dimensions, I actually want to start putting in a few other things. For example, my center lines. I need to have my center lines. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting in the center lines for reference and for really dimensioning too. So I'm going to go to annotate, and I'm going to use the center line or center mark option from here. Select the center marks here, and just simply select the arcs to put in the center marks. Okay. We really should have also some hidden lines. I'm sorry, some center lines on the side views. So here, because of this slot that we have, we actually should have a center line right in here for this center, and then this one should have another center line right in here. Okay, and this one, because of the center line, should also have a center right in here. Okay, so those are a couple of things that we need to do, and that doesn't really happen automatically. What we need to do here is not just a center mark. In this case, what I would do is a center line bisector, which is this guy right here, and you select this line and this one, and it'll draw a center line right between those two, because that's basically how this one is. The thing though is that we really can't do that here, because if I bisect this one and this one, it's going to put it in the center, and there really is no center here. It's going to be right in here and on this one, which is why we go back, and I'm going to select that center line. I don't need it. I need to place it right in here. So that's the technique that I showed up on the beginning of this video. So I'm going to right click here on this view, right click, edit view, and I'm going to temporarily turn on the tangent edges. The tangent edge that I'm looking at right in here is actually where the arc becomes tangent with the line, that point right in there, which is actually the center line that I need. So now that I have that tangent edge turned on temporarily, now I can just draw in a manual center line. So I'm going to click on center line. I'm going to select this point right in here. Make sure you see the green dots. And then this point right in here. Okay. Right click, create. And then I'm going to have this one right in here. Click here. Select this one. Right click, create. Okay. You will then do those. I'm not going to do those, but you continue to do that on your own. I'm going to come back over here and turn off the tangent edges. I'm going to hit escape. Right click, edit view, and I'm going to turn off the tangent edges. I just needed them just for that reference point to be able to draw these center lines that I need. So you will have those center lines here. And then at this point, we're just going to continue and start placing in our dimensions. You're going to start placing your dimensions of the object. Remember which dimensions? These are the only ones we need. Do not start making up all these other dimensions. These are the only ones you need. So you need to go in there and start placing your dimension. You have your dimension of the overall object from this edge to this edge, 58 millimeters. You leave these little symbols right in here to basically show you that it's going to be reading the model, and whatever the model says is what's going to be displayed on this view. You start placing other dimensions like the arcs, for example. This one right in here, you place it right in there. 29, of course, the object or the drawing says 2x R29. So right now this says R29 because of this. Okay. So what I could do is when I'm editing that text, I can simply put in front of this symbol, I can put the 2x. And then it'll put in the 2x R29 because it's going to be for these two edges right in here. Okay. Let me see what other dimensions. I think you can pretty much do everything else on your own. I would probably draw in a center line between these, or I want you to draw in a center line between these 2 points, just to show that this center line continues right in here. Okay. And then another center line between, so just so that shows everything's in line with each other. Why am I missing? There we go. Okay, and then that's pretty much it. Right click, create. So it shows a continuous center line all the way across there, because that is what the case that we need. And then again, start placing your dimensions. The 19s, the 14s, pretty much everything we need. The 4 times R, all of that stuff we need to start placing. And then what you are going to submit is not this drawing. And of course, don't forget to save as. Okay, you're going to save this one as, kind of named it on its own. If it didn't, go ahead and name it. A tailstock clamp RDW, that's your drawing file, not the part file. This is not what I want you to submit. What I want you to finally submit is going to be, I want you to export specifically a PDF. So you're going to export the PDF. Tailstock clamp is going to put it in the same folder. Just don't forget where it's going to be placed at. Save. And it's going to create the PDF. Let me go ahead and find it. So I'm going to come back over here. Under my OneDrive, I have my IPT file. And there's my PDF file. I double click that one just to show you that I have my PDF created. And this is what I'm going to be submitting for a grade.